Welcome to the Sauce Hockey Podcast. I'm David.
I'm Charlie.
Charlie, what do we have on today's special February 22nd, 2026 episode?
We've got to talk about the U.S. women's gold medal game.
Woo!
One gold medal. And we've got to talk about the men's gold medal game.
Double gold!
And we're going to talk about what this means for USA hockey going forward and advice for any new hockey fans jumping in after the Olympics.
Welcome. It's a pretty great sport, as you saw today. So, I think we should start with the women. For those that don't know, the USA women's hockey team won the gold medal for their third time. And the men won today as well for their third time. So both teams winning 3 gold medals, I believe. But the women have done it 3 times since it was added to the Women's Olympics in 1998, right? So they've done it more recently than the men have. But let's get into Thursday's match for the women. What were some of your takeaways?
Let's see. That was a few days ago.
Yeah. You want me to pull it up?
I was expecting to be Canada a little more than we did in the preliminaries, 5-0. But instead, it was really close. Canada's definitely been our best opponent for U.S.A. women. It was a really tough match. It ended up going to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, first period or second period, the first goal.
Yeah, the first goal, I believe, was Canada, right? Is that right? Let's see. We're going back. That was a few days ago now, and obviously we have our.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, Kristen O'Neill scored shorthanded for Canada first, and then we were down 1-0. The women were down 1-0 all the way up until the very end of the third period, and they had been so dominant up until this game, including, as Charlie said, beating Canada 5-0 earlier in the tournament. They had outscored opponents, I believe at this point, 30-something to 1. 5 shutouts in a row, setting an Olympic record. Just the most dominant hockey team I've ever seen is what we were saying. And I don't know if there was one way in the past as dominant as this, but it was incredible to watch. So now we're losing this game with a few minutes left. The captain, Hillary Knight, scores, and in doing so became the all-time leading scorer for USA women. So both in goals and points. So 1-1, it goes to OT, and what happens?
I don't remember how far into overtime was it.
Looks like about 4 minutes in.
Yeah, so a few minutes in, and Megan Keller, a defenseman, comes in and makes a beautiful play around the defender and scores backhand.
Backhand, yeah. She gets the puck right on the boards, dekes around the defender, just incredible deke, and then lifts the puck just enough to get over the goalie's leg pad, backhanded. Just unreal moment, unreal goal. Scoring a goal to win the gold in overtime has got to be such an incredible feeling. I guess everyone's been talking about the Miracle on Ice. Today's the 46-year anniversary, and they play the last minute this morning before the game, and watching your team winning as regulation runs out would also be a really cool feeling, right? They're gonna do it, and then the countdown: 10, 9, 8. Do you believe in miracles, right? And then everyone runs out onto the ice, but also just not knowing with overtime when it's going to happen. And at any moment, it could be either team, and then your team does it. Just so special, right?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Keller takes it, just superstar moment for her. And Brittany says, only the coolest game-winning shot ever, for sure. What a move, just deke around the defender and then take it back in. Just there's some really photography of that last shot, and the video obviously is really good too. The MVP of the tournament ended up being Caroline Harvey. She's one of my favorite players to watch now. She's a college player, plays for, I think, is it Wisconsin? I think she's on the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They had a few team players from there. Layla Edwards is on there as well. So a few college players along with a bunch of pros, and the women's USA team looked just so good. Caroline Harvey now, she got MVP of the tournament, most points, like all kinds of stats. We were talking about Taylor Heisey. What's Taylor Heisey's record now look like?
Taylor Heisey definitely has the best record for any women's player right now. In the first 2 seasons of the PWHL, she won the Walter Cup both times, and then goes on to with Team USA to win a gold medal. Like, that's insane.
All she does is win. Not to mention, she was the #1 overall pick in the first PWHL draft, and won gold for USA World Juniors prior to that. So I mean, she's just winning literally every tournament she's in. So really cool for Taylor Heisey. Really cool for Hillary Knight, our captain. This was her 5th Olympic. Like, that's crazy to think about. 5 times.
Wow.
You know, and has won gold multiple times now. So just really cool to watch the women. Our goalie, Frankel, for the Boston Fleet, teammate Megan Keller, she was really good. Makes me excited to go watch the PWHL and just kind of see how women's hockey continues to grow. I know Augie and Sully both play with a couple of girls on their team that were super excited, and just seeing the impact that it's having and how hockey's growing everywhere, but in this case specifically with girls and women, is really cool. Okay, are we ready to talk about the men?
Okay. Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of you watched this morning, but 46 years since USA has won gold. You know, you start to feel like it's just never going to happen. 12 years since NHL players have been allowed in the Olympics. So, yeah, 2014 was the last time. So we've been hyping up this tournament for a while now, talking about how it's coming. And last year we got the preview with the Four Nations tournament, which was super fun. And I think a lot of people started to watch hockey and get excited about the Olympics. And so we're going into today's game with just a lot of hype. You know, everyone's referencing the Miracle on Ice, watching the movie, watching the documentary, because that's the last time USA won. That's all we have to go on. But this morning, you and I were talking about how this isn't the same story as the Miracle on Ice, right? Why not?
This is kind of different because against the Soviets in 1980, our team was expected to do like completely like last place team, not make it to the quarterfinals. And we worked super hard. The players got better. But like even the coach for the books was like no one can beat the Soviets. They're a super team.
Yeah.
Let's try hard and see if we can win the bronze medal match.
Yeah.
And then so we're super underdogs and we end up winning. Which is really insane, but it's different because this time we're really good against Canada. I mean, Canada has better forwards, but we have a bunch of really good players, so we kind of rise as hurt. A little bit of an underdog, but not as much as the 1980.
Exactly, like not even close. I saw someone compare it to, you know, the 1980 team with David and Goliath, and this is more like Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills, right? Like the Chiefs have won multiple times before. You know, they're the champs. Of course, not this year, but you know, and they beat Buffalo over and over. And so far, that's kind of how it's gone for the United States. We have beat Canada a couple of times, but not when it mattered. Right, so we won in the preliminary round in 2000. What was that? 14 maybe or 10? I think it was the 2010 Olympics. We beat them in the preliminary round, and they come back and beat us in the medal rounds where it counts, knock the teams out, right? And I don't remember if that one was finals or semifinals or when, but you know, they knocked us out when it mattered. Same last year at Four Nations. We beat them in the preliminary round. They knocked us out in the gold medal game in overtime with a goal from Connor McDavid. So it is Definitely still they are the big brother. They're winning more often. They're the team to beat. Canada, hockey is their sport. They have the best players in the world for sure. But USA is very, very good. And everyone said going into this game that it was going to be won by the United States. If it was won by the United States, it would be by defense and goal. And that is exactly what we got today. Should we get
Yes.
into the game?
Sure.
So, of course, spoiler alert, if you don't know, USA won. And let's break it down. So, game starts off high pace, super fast. Tell us about the first goal.
So yeah, as you said, it starts out really fast. It's flying everywhere, and let's see who got the assist on that goal.
Quinn Hughes and Austin Matthews.
So Quinn Hughes got passes to Matt Boldy, all like back in the neutral zone, and he goes up, he flips it in the air, he like taps it twice, past the defenders, then he just backhands it to the rifle on Jordan Bennington, and we explode like, whoa!
One of the craziest goals ever. Yeah, it's just a highlight reel goal. We can't share it here. The Olympics are very strict about video being shared. You may have noticed on social media if you're a hockey fan, everyone's sharing like funny clips and pictures instead of the actual clips and photos because they're not allowed to. They'll get their page taken down. But just an unbelievable goal. And USA takes the lead 1-0 and really played great through that whole period. I mean, I thought the first period was tight. It was fast. We had a couple chances. They had a couple chances. They had a couple more than us, I think. Connor Hellebuck was incredible. So we're in the the first intermission. We're going into the second period. And how are you feeling about the game?
We're like, okay, we're winning. Like, come on, we gotta keep going. Get a couple more goals. We got this. We'll hang in there and be fine. And then the second period starts, and Canada is just in the offensive zone the entire time.
We barely got it.
I felt like the 1980 game against the
Exactly.
Soviets. We were just playing defense, trying to hold on to the life of
Charlie
Canada.
said that. He said this feels like the Miracle on Ice game. Like we're just hanging on. We have a lead and we're just barely trying to survive. That was the second period. The shots on net were, I don't remember, 19-7 or something in that period. We got a couple of penalties. Jake Ensel got a 2-minute for holding. McAvoy got one for holding. But going into this game, no one had scored against the USA on the power play. Our penalty kill was 100%. Expecting to keep it that way against Canada, I think, would be unrealistic to go into the game thinking, oh, yeah, there's no way they're going to score. And they get two chances in the second period. USA kills both penalties. So you're starting to think, like, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? But keep the pressure, and who ties it up for Team Canada?
Nobody else but, like, best defenseman in the world, literally, Cale Makar.
Yeah.
The Bobby Orr of this generation. And I mean, yeah, it was a 5-on-3. Both of those Ensel and McAvoy penalties were like around the same time. So we had a minute and a half of killing 5-on-3.
Yes. I forgot it was 5-on-3.
After we killed it, we're like, okay, we killed it. Now we have like momentum.
Yeah, we should get some momentum. Yeah, we're gonna be like, yeah, we got it. And then they just kept going. They just kept hammering us. It was, I mean, just what you'd expect. You look at Team Canada's roster, what you expect. We kept calling it their God line. They weren't always playing with the same line, but they have this one line they bring out. I don't know if they started it in the semifinals or the quarterfinals, but they tried matching up Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Macklin Celebrini. Earlier in the tournament, they had those guys spread out. Those are literally the top 3 scorers in the entire NHL right now in points. They lead the league, and they had all 3 on the same line. So, it felt like they were out every other shift too. Like I'd look up and up, on the ice, back on the ice, and it looked. I mean, except for the fact that they couldn't score. Connor Hellebuck, three-time Vezina Trophy winner and last year's MVP of the entire league, is the United States goalie. He was a brick wall, not letting anything through, just miraculous saves until the Cale Makar goal, that ties it up 1-1, and we're going to the second intermission thinking,
We're scared.
what? Yeah, we're like, okay, that's not good. But something's got to change in the third. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. So third period comes out.
It's a little bit closer than the second period, but still mostly Canada.
Yeah.
We had a few more chances than we did in the third period. And we're just playing and playing.
Back and
Hellebuck
forth.
doesn't let anything in.
Hellebuck looks incredible. He makes a couple good saves as well.
And then all of a sudden, Sam Bennett just whacks Jack Hughes in the face really hard.
With a stick. So it gets a 4-minute high stick penalty. Jack Hughes has teeth on the ice in front of him. He's laying there. I listened to his post-game interview. He said he's laying there on the ice thinking, oh, no, not again. He's apparently had this happen to him before. Like, here we go again. He said last time it was so painful, just the process and getting his mouth fixed. But obviously, the good thing is he's thinking, well, at least it's going to be a 4-minute penalty. And for those that don't know, Sam Bennett has this history of playing the game this way. He's especially with goalies, and if you watch the semifinals game, he took a run at Finland's goalie, which is Nashville Predators goalie Jussi Saros. That's not Nashville Predators. Where he runs into the goalies and gets goalie interference calls. He's just a really rough player, and rough's not even the right word, almost like cheating player with someone getting dirty is probably the right word, So you're thinking, okay, stinks. Jack loses some teeth, but here we go. We've got a 4-minute power play chance to win the game, right? It's towards the end of the period. There's not a lot of time left. But
so we have a power play. Yeah, we're trying to score. And then
we got a couple good looks. Gensel had a good look in the slot. Jack Hughes ripped a slap shot from the point with the screen in front of Bennington, but doesn't go in. And then Jack Hughes accidentally high sticks someone else. And so now he's in the box, and that takes away the end of our 4-minute power play and turns it into a 4-on-4 situation. And we know that as soon as this 4-on-4 is done, now Canada's going to go back on the power play with only 2 minutes left in the game. So we'd have a minute of power play we got to kill off.
And at that point, I was like, oh no, we have to go on 4-on-4. Yeah. And I don't remember the 4-on-4 much.
Yeah, there was a couple good chances both ways. Particularly really fast, exciting hockey, and we don't get a goal. They don't get a goal. All of a sudden, they're on the power play. Got to kill it. We're 100% so far, and get it done. Kill the penalty, and this thing's heading to overtime. Now, for those that don't know, games in the NHL that go to overtime, in the regular season, so we're going to talk later about if you're a new hockey fan and you're just joining, if you watch the Olympics and you're thinking, I think I like this sport. I want to follow some more. We have some advice to give you later in the podcast, but in the NHL, when you're watching in the regular season, if it goes to OT, you play 3-on-3 for just 5 minutes, and then if no one scores, it goes to shootout. Now, the 3-on-3, remember a normal game is played 5-on-5. The 3-on-3, it's almost like a different game. There's so much space on the ice. There's often a goal scored during the 3-on-3. It's a very different game. Whoever gets the puck, a lot of times they just control the puck and just wait for the other team to give them a chance. Because they have so much space to skate around and just maintain possession, kind of play keep away. So they get a 2-on-1 opportunity or breakaway opportunity. And we've talked on the podcast the last few episodes. The Predators have really struggled with overtime this year. It's really nerve wracking to watch. It's sometimes very back and forth. Sometimes one team just holds the puck the whole overtime, just waiting for a chance. And then in the playoffs in the NHL, it changes. What's the format for overtime in the playoffs when you're battling for the Stanley Cup?
In the playoffs, it's basically just another period. It's 5-on-5,
What's that?
but yeah, 20 minutes, but it next will win. And if it wins, you going over and over again.
So you could have triple overtime, quadruple overtime. You just keep playing. And I really prefer it that way because you get like the pure game of hockey until someone scores. I understand during the regular season they can't do that. They can't have regular games throughout the week, 82 games in a season, and some of them go to 4 overtimes, 5 overtimes. Like nobody would want that. So I get during the regular season having a quick ending of it. 3-on-3 OT for 5 minutes, no one scores, you do a shootout. The Olympic overtime rules are what?
It's 3-on-3, just like NHL does in the regular season, but it's 20 minutes long.
For the final, for the gold medal game like today, it's a 20-minute 3-on-3. And if no one scores, they'll just repeat that. So you'll just keep doing 3-on-3 overtimes, which is just the most stressful hockey and exciting ever, and that's what we got today. But when you're looking at a 3-on-3 overtime and you look at Team USA and Team Canada, who do you think has the advantage in that?
Canada.
Yeah, for sure. We just said it earlier, right? Like they can put the best 3 players in the world. They can put the best defenseman, Kale McCarr, out there with 2 of the best forwards, and they'll still have a leftover best forward to put on the next rotation. I mean, that's probably a nightmare scenario. It's giving them more space to make a play, right? That's just got to be really, really hard going into an OT like that, trying to think like, man, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to do this? But they get the intermission, they go in. I'm sure they come up with a plan. Now let's get into it. What happens in the OT?
So, yeah, we go out there. They put out McKinnon, McDavid, and McCarr.
Who you'd expect.
And we put out Austin Matthews, Matt Boldy, and Quinn Hughes. It doesn't look as good on paper compared to those 3.
But it's great.
Yeah.
Those 3 are fantastic players. Like all world amazing. But the other 3 are the best in the world. Like they're the best.
The top of the pack.
Yeah.
So go in. It's still kind of back and forth because
both teams got some chances.
Overtime's pretty much always like that, especially when it's 3-on-3. You shoot, it doesn't go in. The other team has it now, basically. Yeah. Then it goes the other way. And let's see, was there a McDavid breakaway in overtime?
I don't know if there was a breakaway. I can't remember. There was in the regular game in regulation, and Hellebuck came up, made a big save on McDavid in breakaway. He made a couple big saves, and we didn't even mention the fact that during the game, there were so many missed opportunities for both Canada and the United States, but specifically Canada. They had one where Nathan McKinnon had a wide open net, like complete perfect shot, and he just flat out missed the net. That poor guy is going to have nightmares about that moment, right? And then they had a chance where Devon Toews gets the puck on his stick right in the blue crease behind Connor Hellebuck with a perfect empty net. He shoots it, and Hellebuck just barely reaches back and gets his stick on it, and it sends it wide. Just barely tipped it enough. Just insane chances. And I know USA had a couple chances too, but those really stick out to me. And then in overtime, do you remember the chance McDavid gets? He's coming in, and Jack Hughes had just stepped on the ice. And he said in the post-game interview, he's like, he goes, I just came on the ice like someone, came off. And I get on the ice and look up, and the best player in the world is skating full speed at me, and I'm the only one back to protect, and I'm not a defenseman, and that's got to be such a scary moment. And he said the first instinct he had was, I need to go press forward and close the gap. But then he realized, if I try to close the gap, he's going to blow right past me. He's so fast. So he said, I had no choice but to just back up and try to take away any of his space. And do you remember that moment? Like, McDavid just ran out of room. He should have had a good chance to score, because I think it even ended up being a 2-on-1 maybe. But he just ran out of space. Like, Jack Hughes was just perfectly positioned to disrupt it. And Coach Mike Sullivan said after the game that was such an important play, and of course Jack Hughes was excited. And speaking of Jack Hughes, what went down next?
So McKinnon had it in his own zone. This is another thing we'll be having nightmares about.
Oh yeah,
Werenski. So it's coming into the defensive zone. McKinnon you look at that for a second, it's like, oh, McKinnon's going to take it. And Werenski stays with it and kind of pushes McKinnon away a little bit and gets the puck and passes it to Jack Hughes, who is wide open. No one's guarding him. So basically, one-on-one with the goaltender, and he snipes it in.
I mean, I'm sure all of Oak Ridge heard us. Oh my God, Jack Hughes! We're going nuts. They did it. They won. They're gold medalists. I mean, the USA team comes off the bench. They're throwing their helmets and gloves and stuff. Just an incredible goal, incredible moment. And you're right. The play Werenski made to knock the puck loose from McKinnon kind of hit him with his body to get a little bit more space, get the puck back, send it over to Jack Hughes. I don't know if it was McDavid or Makar. Somebody really dropped the ball on closing the gap on Jack Hughes, because you're right. He was wide open, just sitting there on the other side. And that's what makes 3-on-3 so crazy. It's so easy to find space, when there's 10 players on the ice. And now it's dropped down to 6. It's virtually half, right? And there's just so much space, so many opportunities, so much back and forth. And they did it. USA wins gold for the first time in 46 years. They haven't done it in my entire lifetime. I told the boys this morning, I remember watching multiple Olympics and thinking this is going to be the one. I remember watching the last one that NHL players were in 2014. We were on a trip, and we were at a hotel the morning of TJ Oshie's incredible shootout performance. And Charlie was a baby 1-year-old. And it was, just so much fun watching. And it was fun even watching the last couple of Olympics without NHL players. I think both are cool, both are unique, but this one was really fun. Just getting to see best on best, right? Two teams just stacked, loaded. The hockey was so exciting, back and forth, and they did it. And MVP for sure is who?
Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Without him, we would have lost the game 5-1.
And I don't think there was a single other game where he was so important. I mean, every other game, really, we dominated, right?
Yeah, I mean, Sweden is the next closest one, because that one also went to overtime in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So he probably made a few more saves then.
Yeah, that's true. It was probably really important to have him there as well. But so many of the other games were kind of blowouts. But he still played great. The one game we didn't have a great goalie performance from was the one game Hellebuck didn't play. It was poor Jeremy Swayman. Had it let in a couple rough ones, but Hellebuck was clear standout MVP. We said that we needed to win this game on defense and goaltending, and that's exactly what happened. We played so well defensively. There was very rarely a mistake. Jacob Slavin, the defenseman for the Carolina Hurricanes, just outstanding. And we said this last year at Four Nations. he made so many great stick plays and shot blocks. And this time it even looked like he was stepping up on the rush better. I think he was clearly a standout defender. Quinn Hughes, the whole tournament, he really rivaled, I thought, Cale Makar as best defenseman in the world.
Yeah. I mean, we could have even won the Four Nations with just having Quinn Hughes. Like, that could have been the difference. That's the difference he makes. Quinn Hughes is so amazing. And the fact that we have Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski and, like, Jacob Slavin makes our defenseman just so deep.
Exactly. Yeah, Zach Werenski also really good. Obviously, the game-winning assist. Yeah, McAvoy had some huge hits. Defense was stellar. Our forwards, every line of forwards had big moments this tournament.
Yeah.
The starting line, Jack Eichel and the Tkachuk brothers, they didn't stand out in this game as like, wow, look at those amazing plays they made. But every time they were on the ice, the entire tournament, they were playing their hearts out. They were the leaders of this team for sure. The second line of Austin Matthews with Jake Ginsel and Matt Boldy.
Yeah.
Excellent. They looked really, really good, and they got the first goal of the game to put us ahead. Third line, they switched it up, and today it was Dylan Larkin with Tage Thompson and Jack Hughes. Maybe overall through the whole tournament, maybe our best line. Think about
Yeah.
Larkin had big goals. Jack Hughes had the most goals on the team. And Tage Thompson had a couple big goals. I think they were mostly on power play, though, so that wasn't that line specifically. But those three, stellar.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, that's great line.
The fourth line, the most criticized, JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck, the two players everyone wanted off the team for Cole Caulfield and Jason Robertson. And I have to be honest, I even kind of thought that at times. You can go back and see on the podcast where we're talking about it going like, who would you take off? I guess JT Miller and Vincent Trocheck, but you kind of need some grit. You kind of want the face-off wins. Those guys stepped up huge. And I didn't realize they grew up playing hockey together.
Yeah, that's really cool considering that not just in the Olympics, but even on the same team in the NHL, the New York Rangers.
Yeah, they're on the same team now. They got to play in the Olympics together. And they came up big. They were the first penalty killers. Vincent Trocheck, I think, was the best face-off man in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
He was so good. And, I mean, they were good. And today they were centered by Brock Nelson, who also had a great tournament. I think he scored the first goal for the team in the tournament, maybe, Brock Nelson. First two, even. Wasn't he on Hattie Watch in the game against Latvia?
Yeah, and he would have got it if it wasn't for that one called off.
Yeah, one called off. He almost had a hat trick in the first game, and we spoke on this already, but he's on the gold medal team today. His grandfather was on the 1980 Olympic team, right?
Yeah.
And then wait, is that right?
It's like uncle, great uncle, something uncle was on the 1980 team.
Okay, and then his grandfather?
I don't know, yeah.
Someone in his family was then also on the 1960s. So his family has been on all three teams that have won gold at the Olympics for USA men's hockey. What a cool story. So our forwards were also really, really good through the whole tournament, including today. And then the moment, I mean, the picture of Jack Hughes after the gold medal winning goal with his teeth missing, blood on his face, with an American flag draped over his shoulders has to be the coolest USA hockey picture I've seen probably ever.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like, that's one you want to get like framed on the wall somewhere. It's just an incredible photo. And actually, so is the Megan Keller one with the jersey, with the flag over her shoulders, or the one right after the goal scored. If you haven't seen it, Claire Thompson, who was also a really good player for the Canadian team, is down on the ice just realizing they lost the medal. and you see Keller celebrating. That's a really cool photo too. So a couple of great photos captured by, I don't have the names of the photographers, but just some great work by the photographers over at the Olympics too.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what other thoughts? Anything else from the game today?
No.
We talked Hellebuck.
I can't believe it.
We talked
USA.
defense. We talked forwards. The closing ceremony is going on this tonight. That wraps up the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan, Cortina. And Cortina, is that the name? Cortina. And it was a great one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching the Olympics this past couple of weeks. I mean, I've never really been into the Olympics since like a couple of years ago, the Summer Olympics, but it was still really awesome to watch. Discovering these crazy sports other than hockey. We're just going down at 80 miles per hour.
Skiing or or luge or bobsled. The boys all of my boys thought it was cool, the skiing and shooting one. There's curling, seeing all the drama this year with the cheater and curling and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's all the sports are fun. Obviously, the hockey for us is the big one, and cool that it was the last event of the day, and cherry on top that USA won it. The boys and I were talking in the intermission before overtime today, just win or lose, incredible game. And at the end of the day, it is just a hockey game, right? Our lives won't be that affected by it. You lose the game, it stinks. You wake up the next day and you have, go back to your normal life. But when you get those moments like today where you win, it's just so exciting. And it's what sports is all about. It brings people together. It gives you something to cheer for. And for the country today, we went out to celebrate. We're wearing our USA jerseys. Everyone's giving thumbs up like, oh, that was awesome. And we live in Tennessee. I'm sure most of those people either didn't watch the game or maybe just flipped on a little bit. And it's a cool moment for hockey. So that kind of brings us to going forward. What does this mean for USA hockey? Jack Hughes was saying after the game just how strong the USA hockey program is and the brotherhood they feel. What does this mean? We now won men's and women's Olympic gold. This past year, the USA men's team won the world championship. We've won World Juniors back-to-back until this year, right? We lost it this year. But that's a lot of big moments for USA hockey. I think we can officially say we're here, right?
Yeah.
We're here. We're ready to rival Canada as the greatest hockey country in the world. And it's really neat.
Yeah, it really is.
Just being an American, it makes you proud. And growing up playing hockey, Charlie's playing hockey, Augie and Sully playing hockey, and getting to see the players from your favorite teams put on their country's jersey and flag and go play together against these other countries. It's a cool thing for sure. The next international tournament, the NHL's announced they're going to do a World Cup of hockey again, which hasn't been around for a long time now. But after the success of Four Nations and the popularity of that and the excitement around the Olympics, they announced last year they're going to bring back the World Cup of hockey, and they're going to do it every 4 years in the 2 years after the Olympics, right? So not next year, but the year following that, we'll have the World Cup of hockey. And then 2 years after that, the next Olympics, which will be in France, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the next Winter Olympics. So exciting times going forward to have best on best back. There were some injuries at this tournament. Who are some notable injuries?
Sidney Crosby for Team Canada and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, we didn't mention that. They lost their captain a couple games ago, who scored the gold medal winning goal for them at the 2010 Olympics.
Victor Hedman for Sweden and Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, Kevin Fiala, LA Kings, Team Switzerland, out for the season. Had to have surgery on his leg. Tom Wilson fell on him. Yeah, so some big notable injuries. That's always one of the fears of a tournament like this is, and why the NHL maybe hasn't always wanted their players to participate is, this we're in mid-season, so that's going to disrupt some teams. Penguins are in a playoff position right now. They lose their captain. That's rough. LA Kings fighting for a playoff position. They have one, I think, right now, or they're right on the edge. The wild card teams keep swapping with each other in the Western Conference. As we know, as Nashville Predators fans, we're trying to get one of those spots. So they lose Fiala just after acquiring Artemi Panarin. So that really hurts for those guys. Tampa Bay's probably top team in their division. They lose their captain potentially. I don't know how bad Hedman's injury is. We'll have to see. But those are things that you have to think about. Maybe run the risk of the NHL deciding they're not going to let the players compete again next time. So if that happens, stinks. And it's why you got to cherish the moments like today.
Yeah.
What incredible games we got to watch these last 2 weeks. Very exciting. So let's finish today, before we get to our featured cards, with just some quick advice for any fans who started watching hockey, maybe during Four Nations or especially now during the Olympics, who are thinking, wow, that was an amazing sport. I think I might want to follow this some more. Just some advice going forward with kind of where to go. If you watched today's game and you saw Jack Hughes score the game-winning goal in overtime and you're thinking, man, what team is he on? How do I watch him? He's on the New Jersey Devils. They started this year super hot and have cooled off a lot. Jack Hughes had an injury. He's back. They're fighting for a playoff spot. The Eastern Conference is pretty crazy. There's a lot of teams fighting for the playoffs. He's on a team that's not super exciting to watch, but can be very good at times. They've got guys like Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier from the team Switzerland on the team. His brother, Luke Hughes, there's a third Hughes brother. We talked about Quinn and Jack all day today. Luke Hughes, their youngest brother's on that team too. So you'd want to go check out the New Jersey Devils. Who else? What's another superstar player from the tournament that they might want to go follow?
If you want to watch Jack Hughes' brother, Quinn Hughes, he plays for the Vancouver Canucks. Well, he was.
Yeah, he did, but now
he played on the Vancouver Canucks, and then in December he got traded to the Minnesota Wild, which is exciting for him because he went from the worst team in the league, basically.
Easily right now, they're the worst.
To one of the best, 5 or 3 in the league.
And it has Matt Boldy as well, who scored the first goal for the Team USA today. And who's the third American player on that team? There's a third, isn't there?
Brock Faber.
Brock Faber, yes, on defense. That's who I was missing. So yeah, the Minnesota Wild, and Minnesota, big hockey state. So if you're wanting to watch those guys, check out the Wild. They're very exciting. They also have a Russian player on their team, Kirill Kaprizov, who's one of the most exciting players to watch, and 2 Swedish goaltenders who are incredible, Philip Gustafsson and Jesper Wallstedt. So that's a great team to watch. They're going to be in the playoffs for sure. If you're looking for a team to follow with some of the American superstars, that's maybe the best one.
Yeah.
If you live here in Tennessee and you're thinking, man, what's our team? We're big Nashville Predators fans. Just 2.5 hours from where we live, we get to go down and see games fairly often, not every weekend or anything, but they're not a hard trip to go see a game. The last couple years, they haven't been amazing, but they have some really good players and they're fighting for a playoff spot. So we have about 25 games left to end the season. It's a great time to jump on and follow along, watch the games. To watch Predators games, you need to watch on what? Fubo would get it?
Yeah.
If we use Fubo. I don't remember if you can get it on YouTube TV. They're on it's called the FanDuel Sports South or something like that.
FanDuel Sports Network, Southeast, I don't know.
Their next game will be Thursday night this week. that's if you're looking for a local team, you think, I want to follow a team that I can go see games live. The Nashville Predators would be who to see. And they also had some Olympians, not on Team USA, but who was in the Olympics from the Nashville Predators?
We have Philip Forsberg, who is our top scoring winger. Really talented, like the best shot on the team. He's capable of like almost 50 goal seasons.
Yeah, he almost got to 50 goals one season.
And he played for Team Sweden. He didn't play that much, but then
just due to poor coaching.
But then he got played a little more, and he got a goal, right?
Yeah, when they finally started playing him more often, he ended up scoring a goal in their last game or their second to last game. I guess their last game was it was against us. Their second to last game before USA eliminated them in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
So we have Philip Forsberg. Our captain Roman Josi was the captain for Team Switzerland at the Olympics, and they played great. Switzerland made it to the quarterfinals as well. Who knocked them out? Canada?
Was it Canada? Oh, it was Finland.
It was Finland. Yeah. Speaking of Team Finland,
we've got two players on that team. We've got Finland's starting goaltender Jussi Saros, who played really good for them, and he's also the Predators' best goalie. He's one of the best goalies in the league.
Yeah.
Super talented.
He was, I think, the best goalie at this tournament, including Connor Hellebuck and Jordan Binnington. Just statistically, Saros had just incredible saves. A couple of the goals that he did let in were like fluky. Though they almost actually, Team Finland almost kept us from getting to see USA versus Canada. They were winning 2-0 against Canada in the semifinals. And Jussi Saros was playing incredible. It looked like maybe they were going to shut out Canada. But like he got a weird goal that bounced off the glass and landed in front of the net, and he couldn't make the save. So then it was 2-1. And then who tied it up? I think Nathan McKinnon tied it up, or Cale Makar. I don't remember. Somebody tied it up right towards the end of the game in the third period, and then they got one more right as time ran out. And so, yeah, Finland looked really good. And you said Erik Haula as well.
Yeah, Erik Haula. He's pretty good for the Nashville Predators. Like where has he played when we went for the Olympic break? Like third line.
Yeah, I think he was playing third line.
But in the Olympics for Finland, he did really well. He had several goals, like 3. He had a couple of assists.
Yeah. No, he's was a standout for Team Finland, and some of his play was shorthanded, which he does for the Preds. He's very exciting, super fast. He had one breakaway in the game against Canada where somebody really fast was chasing him. It might have been McDavid. Somebody super fast was on his tail, and he was able to stay ahead of him. So Haula is a very exciting player to watch as well. And then not including the Olympians, the Preds have some other superstar players like Steven Stamkos, who's you may have heard us talking about him recently. He's one of the top 20 goal scorers of all time now, for sure, Hall of Famer one day. Ryan O'Reilly is leading our team, doing everything, winning faceoffs, killing penalties, power play goals. He's for sure one of the leaders of the team. So if you want to check out the Nashville Predators, that's our team. And if you follow along on our podcast, you're going to hear us talk about them every episode, basically. And then go from there. I mean, check one of the players that you saw at the Olympics that you just really enjoyed watching and learn more about them. Go see which team they play for. Most of the games right now that aren't the Nashville Predators, you can catch every night on ESPN. If you get the ESPN Plus, just about every game is in there, and it's very easy to watch NHL games right now because of the ESPN agreement. It's not always that way. There's been seasons in the past where we could only really find our team, the Nashville Predators, or whatever was streaming nationally. But right now with the ESPN deal, it's better than ever when it comes to watching hockey. It's easy to find, and there's games every night. Most teams play 3 games a week or so, and they rotate, which night they're on. So it's not like football where it's all on Sunday and just one game on Thursday night and Monday night. So very fun sport to follow, and in our opinion, the most exciting one.
Yeah.
Okay, time for featured cards.
Okay, featured cards.
You want to go first?
Okay. I've got no one else but the guy who scored the game winner from the New Jersey Devils, Aimbot's Jack Hughes.
Oh, that's a sick card. Man, his jersey really pops. Let me see. Like, really sticks out the way it's like in color.
I think the way these cards are made make it to where the
That's
person
awesome.
shooting, it sticks out, but he's 5'11", left-handed. He's like 24, 25 years old. He was born in Orlando, Florida.
Number 1 overall pick in the draft. What draft was that?
2019. I remember because of that game we played last week.
Oh, yeah.
On October 20th, 2023, the Devils traveled to face off with the New York Islanders in an electrifying matchup. Hughes dealt out a pair of assists and lit the lamp once in regulation before finding the back of the net again in overtime to clinch a 5-4 win.
Wow. He's an incredible player, for sure. And I actually, for my featured card, was looking for a Connor Hellebuyck card because he was the MVP today for sure. Like, Canada should have won that game if it wasn't for Connor Hellebuyck. And I couldn't find one. I just couldn't find a good Hellebuyck card. So I said, there's only one guy. If I can't get Hellebuyck, there's only one guy. And it also has to be Jack Hughes. I've got the O-Pee-Chee from last year's set as well. I haven't gotten a Jack Hughes card this year, but once again, Charlie, we picked the same guy.
Yep.
And like I said, if you haven't seen the picture of him after the game, just an iconic photo. Teeth missing, flag on his back. Incredible. Jack Hughes, you already read his stats, born in Florida. It says, en route to recording his second NHL hat trick, Hughes scored at even strength in the first period on a power play in the second frame and into an empty net in the third stanza to power New Jersey to a 6-3 victory against host Columbus on December 16th, 2023. This 23-24 season, he had 27 goals. The year before that, he had 43 goals and 99 points in 22-23. That's incredible. He's having another great year this year so far. So I think everybody probably in the United States is going to be excited to watch Jack Hughes the rest of the season after these last couple weeks. So really cool for him. He didn't have the greatest Four Nations tournament, so there was a lot of expectation and hope that he would do better at the Olympics, and he really stepped up, as did his brother Quinn. So very cool for those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that it for today?
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you do all the things. If you can, like our video. That helps on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel to get our content when it comes out. Charlie's in charge of all the content on the YouTube page. So go watch some of the videos he's posted of the games and shorts and things that he's made. Let him know in the comments which ones you like. What do you want to see more of? And we will see you next Sunday.
Yep. 1 week.
Anything else for him?
No. Stay saucy.
Bye, everybody. And USA, USA, USA. See ya.